Hi guys, it's chilly out. Just going for a walk to Shoppers to see if there's any chocolate on sale. Why is this color so weird? Hang on, I'm gonna clean the lens. That's strange. Phones when you're recording, depending on how good your phone is, phones can make the videos from, God, I honestly, I can't even talk like a human being here. Videos and photos taken on a phone can look so different in real life. Like, it's really not bright at all here. The video looks blue and bright, and actually it's dusk, and it's pretty dark already, and it's not blue out at all. I don't like I'm an artist, and I dislike the color distortion, you know? Yeah, you know what? Anyways, I was going to say I'm walking to Shoppers to see if I can find some, if the chocolate has gone on sale, because it's so grossly overpriced and at Shoppers, right? It's just insane. The prices are just psycho. So I'd like to get to Shoppers and see if I can get any chocolate on sale. I don't know why, since the pandemic, the prices of chocolate and stuff are outrageous. So yeah, you know what? It took me until now. You know, this is the problem without having family around, without people checking in with me and having lots of troubleshooting conversations with me and stuff. Like, maybe other people would have figured this out sooner, that I'm having serious spine issues. I'm having back issues, nerve issues coming from my back. And it's going into, like, my hips and legs, and, you know, my legs go numb and I can't walk normal. And, like, even setting out for this little walk to the store, I knew it's not going to be easy. But I never really understood, never knew that I have an actual issue in the spine. And it's all those nerve issues. It's a disc issue, or nerves being pinched in the back. And, you know, causing like all these symptoms and, you know, disability, really. The first few years with this injury from the medications, I couldn't bend over for a couple years. Now, I can barely bend over to pick something up. Do you know what? You know, my mother-in-law was living here. She was like 85 years old, living on her own in this elderly condo thing. And, you know, I don't really have experience with elderly people, right? And stuff would toss something in garbage here. Stuff would fall to the floor. She's like 85 years old. Food and whatever would fall on the floor, and it would just stay there. And her place would just get worse and worse until someone could come once a week and do light housekeeping for her. And I didn't know, like, that's how elderly people can live. If you've got, you know, nerve issues or spine issues. I don't know that she had those issues, but obviously if she could get to the floor to pick things up, she would, right? So it's like right when this injury started for me, I started living like an elderly person, right? And my place gets absolutely filthy because I can't get to the ground. I can't bend over and pick things up or sweep and get down there and scoop things off the floor. And but I didn't understand. I have a serious back issue. I have a serious issue in the spine or the vertebrae or the nerves or whatever. I did not understand until, last night that I have a serious issue happening back there. And oh shit, God, I tried to kick that rock to the side, and it's a metal pole sticking out of the ground. Anyways, looks like Shoppers is closed here. So yeah, like you can have a serious health issue and you don't even understand what's happening for years. And, I don't know, it's just dumb. It's just dumb. So I'm really curious, eager to see, shucks, Shoppers is closed. Gosh, these guys are so stupid. Well, no, they're not. I'm just sick of Shoppers. They're so overpriced. Well, darn it. What are the hours? What are the hours for tomorrow? All bars on the windows and stuff. Never used to be that either. No sign, no nothing. Okay. Well, maybe come back tomorrow. Anyways, I'm hoping I can get some chocolate before it's all scooped up. And the early bird catches the worm. There's people up at the crack of dawn, and because I'm so ill and no vehicle, that I tend to miss out on everything. Well, my back is just insane right now. Yeah, I don't know. And it's not just, I got a sore back. This is impacting every day of my life. This is impacting everything I do. I can't stand for long at all. I can walk, but often I think, man, I just might not be able to make it home. I'll tell you a secret. This is how I got my MRI ordered. I know there is something wrong in my spine. I know this for a fact. And watch. If it doesn't show up on the MRI, they're going to say nothing's wrong until, it's really, really bad. And it does show up on an MRI. The doctor did not want to order the MRI, right? The specialist. And I said, well, he just wanted to dismiss it. And I don't know anything about back issues. I do not know anything about this subject at all. And I said to him, he said, no, you don't need an MRI. And I said, you know what? When I go for a walk, it feels like I'm not going to be able to make it home. I can walk for a bit, but I reach a certain point, and it's like, how am I going to get home? Who am I going to call? And it was at that point. Well, he said what his response was, and people should know that this is what they might be thinking that you're wanting. His response was, to my wanting an MRI, his response was, yeah, but it's not bad enough for surgery. I said, I don't want surgery. So they may be thinking, oh, well, all these patients want surgery. Spine surgery is a serious, risky thing, right? And hang on, I gotta put it. My hand is frozen. I don't want surgery, you know. Um, and I said, you know, I live alone. If it gets to the point where I can't walk, I'm in deep, deep trouble. And yeah, I go for a walk every day, and it's like I walk for a certain amount of time, and it's like, how am I going to get home? I start to get scared. At that point, he said, okay, I'll order you an MRI. So it's almost like you need to explain to them really clearly how it's impacting your life. Not just, can I have an MRI? And so he ordered my MRI. And I don't know if I posted this video the other day. Maybe I did. I make a lot of videos that I end up deleting. But when I was at the MRI, there's a woman sitting next to me getting the same MRI, the same part of her spine, her spine done, and her doctor refused to order the MRI. She's maybe I'd say 5 to 10 years older than me. She could barely, you have to fill out forms before the MRI, right? And we're maybe 12 feet from the desk. She could barely drag herself up to that desk. She was in excruciating pain. You could see it all over her face. She's way worse than me. And her doctor refused to order the MRI. And I said to her, did you tell him how this is impacting your life? And her husband piped up and said, oh, he knows. He knows that she's in excruciating pain. And he still wouldn't order it. And I said to him, you know, it's probably because she's a woman. And it's probably because it's probably because we're older. Didn't want to say she's old. She's only like 5 or 10 years older than me. Well, she is. We are older. And he said, yeah, I know. And he said, yeah, that's what my wife thought as well. And yeah, she was disgusted that and also he said to her, oh, you won't get in for months anyway, so there's no point in even, you'll have to wait forever. There's no point in even ordering an MRI. This lady can barely walk. And she was ticked off that my MRI, I don't know, a week, less than 2 weeks to get in. There's people waiting here for a year or two. And my point is, I said to her, you know what? They make it sound like the system is impossible. They make it sound like we're up against something that's just way too big to even deal with. You're never going to get in for an MRI. You're going to have to wait for a year or two. You know what? I told her, I said, it all depends on how urgent your doctor makes that referral sound. How urgent they write on the piece of paper that the patient needs to get in. And she was even more disgusted. And then the husband pipes up and says, she's a nurse. And I thought, oh boy, if you're a nurse and you can barely manage anymore, you can barely walk, and you don't know how to advocate for yourself, like, man, we're in trouble, you know? We are in trouble. And I'm not saying that I'm good at advocating for myself. I am damn lucky that this guy ordered the MRI for me. Damn lucky. Anyways, it's cold here. My hand is frozen from doing most of the video without a glove. So yeah. Anyway, she opted to pay for this MRI. Hundreds of dollars. And she'll probably take it back to this doctor and he'll say there's nothing wrong. I said, ask for a copy. Ask them to print you a copy of the entire MRI on a thumb drive. $25. And you can see with your own eyes how bad the issue really is, rather than this doctor who isn't on her side, maybe telling her that, oh, it looks fine. Or you can send the MRI to somebody else.